Like to call this meeting to order. It is a regular meeting for the Monroe Planning Commission. It is Monday, August 25th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Hannah, can you do roll call, please?
Sure. Commissioners present and establishing a quorum, Commissioners Blair, Lockhart, Lowe, and Walsh.
And we do not have any members of the public present for public comments, so we will move on to agenda item 4.1, which is approval of the August 11th, 2025 minutes.
I would like to make a motion to approve those with one edit. On the second page and the third page, Tony Balk accidentally gets called Tony Blair after like halfway through that page.
Nope, I see it.
Oh, I see. It's like maybe 3 times. So just if that gets fixed, I would recommend approving the minutes.
Nice catch. Thank you for the motion, Brandy. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right, Carla, second. Thank you. Any further discussion or corrections? No, all right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. And then we will be moving on to, there's actually a correction to the agenda because item number 5.1 should be 6.1 under old business. We had this public hearing at our previous meeting. And so it will actually be to adopt the findings of fact on proposed amendments relating to permit processing and Washington Senate Bill 5290.
I'll make a motion that I move that the planning commission adopt the findings of fact and conclusions of law and authorize the chair of the planning commission to sign the findings of fact on behalf of the commission and recommend that the Monroe City Council approve the amendments to the Monroe Municipal Code, Chapter 3.34, permit fees and various chapters in Title 22, Unified Development Regulations for compliance with state law.
I will second. All right, thank you for the motion, Brandy, and thank you for the second, Carla. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carries. Moving on to new business, item 7.1 is the Planning Commission 2025 program of work with a status update, and Kate will give us that.
Yeah, so this is follow-up from your meeting on August 11th. This is just a quick overview of all the items that have been adopted so far this year. We're almost finished with the second item with the UDR permitting process that will go to council now. Thank you very much for all your hard work on that. Again, the UDR unit lot subdivision code amendments are on hold. This was some concern by our city attorney just to slow things down, make sure we're catching everything. It was and it's not due June of this year. We actually can do it. It's due in 2026. So we have some time to reassess that. Just make sure we're doing anything right. The critical areas is in process. I'm very optimistic. I will be bringing you a lot of information at your next meeting in September. Middle housing phase 1 and 2 are kind of working together. The council did adopt interim changes to the residential 7 zoning designation to allow for townhomes. And in addition to that, it has specific design criteria. So that's in process. Part of that will a full-blown review by the planning commission and city council. My suspicion is that we're probably going to request an extension for the interim so we can come to you with a full package of changes, not just the townhouses, but also looking at the infill standards and a few other pieces that are all tied under that umbrella of middle housing. The code phase 2 code cleanup, again, I briefly talked about this at the last meeting. This is really looking at the city adopted a brand new set of definitions, and the land use tables I don't think got completely updated, so they're aligned. So Leanne will be leading that project, and she'll be doing a kickoff with you in December. And this is a project we have identified really for 2026. That will not only look at all the land uses by zone, but we're also gonna look at some of the performance standards. When the city council adopted the accessory dwelling unit changes, they had raised some concern about height of accessory structures. So there's gonna be types of information in there. You'll get to get your hands into our code, which hopefully will be exciting for you. So that will kick off at the end of the year. The airport compatibility, I need to double check. I believe the code amendments came in with the comprehensive plan amendment application that we received, so that could start, I'm still expecting that to start more like October, November, but we'll get started on that one. I am working with Anita to get the multifamily tax exemption program back on your agenda. That's of interest by the council, so we need to get that back on. Affordable housing is actually tied with the multifamily, so again, that will be coming to you later this year. And then the capital facilities, this is one that we've done every year, talking with Public Works, our attorney, looking at state law, comprehensive planning. We're gonna take a new approach, so you will actually not be seeing a request for amendments this year, because they've already adopted it with their comprehensive plan. And so what we're going to be moving towards is every 2 years, the planning commission, city council are gonna look at it with the budget, biennial budget. And we're gonna have more of a traditional capital facilities plan, which is kind of like a mini comp plan for utilities specifically. So I'm working on a memorandum for Public Works and us, just to confirm this is how we're gonna deal with it this year and then moving into the future. So that will not be coming to you this year. And then the docket, as mentioned 2 weeks ago, we did receive one application by the PUD, and then the city has basically map amendments, and then confirmation that our buildable land capacity is updated to reflect an expansion of our UGA, and then the 2 map corrections, and then our tables for total population, housing, and employment will also be adjusted accordingly. So that's where we're at. And as mentioned, I have some staffing capacity issues. We actually have some current planning right now, so you'll be stuck with me for a little longer on critical areas. And then as time goes on and capacity, I am hoping again to have Anita working on the middle housing. And then Leanne will be working on that code cleanup. The only one that is not on this list is another requirement. The acronym is STEP, and it has to do with different housing types. I had Leanne do an analysis, actually sent it to Commerce to see if our current code complied with the regulations, and there are 2 items that are requiring code amendments, so I'll need to get that done by the end of the year. It's a pretty straightforward one, but I need to get that going as well. That's everything. Question?
2 notes.
Yes.
First one, with the UDR code amendments up at the top, it says due January 1st, 2025, but 2026.
Oh, yep, thank you.
And then, second is just a thing, and I don't know if this can be changed or if it's wording somewhere else, but I know we've talked previously about, inclusive of language within documents, and for the comprehensive plan amendment docket, citizen initiated applications.
Public, we changed that. Thank you. Actually, on the first one, it actually was due
Oh,
on
was it?
January 1st.
Okay.
State law preempted us, so we're already following those new timelines. That's the one that you adopted findings for this evening. So that's why I kind of like, it's important for us to complete, but since they superseded our authority,
Gotcha.
I wasn't freaking out that we did not complete it by January.
Okay, sounds good. Lori, I have that, sorry, Randy.
I have one, a question about the multifamily stuff.
Yeah.
I know we're moving forward on it, and I know Anita's done a lot and has brought us stuff in the past, and it doesn't really sound like it might happen before the end of the year, right? It's more like still coming together, and we'll probably see it at the beginning of 2026.
I'm actually hoping that we do work the last quarter of the year. Adoption will most likely not happen until next year, but I really want her to get it back on your calendar to do the work. Where it's adopt is there was conversation at the commission about the locations where the multifamily tax exemption can occur. And so, there's been a lot of conversation about the North Kelsey property. There's some conflict there though with our agreements with Lowe's. And so, it kind of stumped us of what other areas can we look at, because the downtown has already been identified and it's adopted for that multifamily tax credit. So that's why I wanted her to do a good geographical look and get back to you.
Yeah, so there's that, and then the middle housing, they kind of seem like they go together in a way, and so you already told us that middle housing is possibly towards the end of the year also.
So middle housing, what I suspect is gonna happen, so that the phase one really turned into these interim regulations that went straight to council. And that was for our residential 7 units per acre can now allow attached housing, which is townhomes. And so when that was adopted, specific regulations for design standards also moved forward with that. The hope is that I'm hoping that Anita has some capacity that last part of the year. But she has 2 major subdivisions on her plate right now, and I need to be thoughtful about adding more, because those are very specific timelines for review and comment and approval processes. I also want her working on that multifamily tax exemption before we get to the middle housing. So what will most likely happen is the interim regulations will be extended to give her some more time, but I do want, my goal is for her to come to you to begin that conversation.
Yeah, so what I'm hearing is even though it's not, we're getting some middle housing with
Yeah.
what's been put in already, so it's not like we're stalling
Yep.
anything. It's great, okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
There, between the residential core designation going away and the attached housing in the R7, there's a lot of flexibility now in all of our residential zones.
And then the ADUs,
And the ADUs got approved, so you've got another method there as well for housing.
and then they're doing development agreements for the other,
Monroe 30.
yeah,
And the Davis annexation will also have a development agreement.
those are all middle housing positive things.
I mean, it's absolutely getting you more than just detached housing subdivisions, for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments? All right, thank you, Kate.
Yeah.
Moving on to item 7.2, community development, July 2025 monthly report. And Hannah will present that.
Right, commissioners, so for the July report, we'll start with pre-application meetings. The 2 that I wanted to point out is the Cromley Trust subdivision. This is like, here's Chain Lake Road, and this subdivision is just off Chain Lake Road up here. And then also the Kaizen Flats development. This is that big vacant lot at the corner of Blueberry and Kelsey that's been sitting vacant for a while. It's a proposal for a 72 unit apartment building. So it's, I believe it's 2 buildings and they're 3 stories each. So there's that. Our project highlight for the month, we chose to go with the ADU code update, which all of you are quite familiar with. We are very excited to see that go through. Under our project page, I don't think there's any real changes here besides the addition. Monroe West was there last week, but the Monroe 30 preliminary plat, that has moved into preliminary plat review. So that's a 213 lot subdivision in the R7 zone. So that one is currently under review.
Sorry, how many?
213 lots. And that one is, it has a development agreement that it has a mixed use, so it's townhouses and detached housing. Moving on to the building section. Yeah,
Two things. I want to go back up to the Blueberry Lane one
under the
with
pre-application.
the apartments right there.
Mhm.
Okay, so there'll be how many, like three apartments, separate 3 stories? Is that what you
It would
said?
be 3 stories, 2 buildings.
Okay, so what about the traffic? What happens, because it's so bad there? I don't know if you, but it's really bad. Have they discussed what they're gonna do about that? I know that when you turn the corner, they put that funny looking, whatever you call it, round thing, it's a roundabout, I guess. Well, when you turn and you get to the light, well, you can't even get to the light, they have a sidewalk right there, it sticks out and it causes a lot of, it's really bad. It blocks everybody and the sidewalk, that should be looked at, but if those homes are coming in with that many people, that whole thing needs to be looked at. It's really, really bad. And then the traffic down on Kelsey, I don't know if you guys have ever been on it around 3 o'clock, it backs all the way down past the school.
Right.
So if that's packed, I know that Blueberry Lane is just as bad. And then where and if a train comes, it's really bad. And there's been a couple times I've almost been hit there because people they really don't know what to do with that. And then you do get over the railroad tracks and then you got that. I don't know if you guys, do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the sidewalk sticks out. I don't know why they did that like that. It's, and then I've seen people drive over it. That needs to be looked at. And if there's gonna be that many more cars on that road, it's gonna be bad. Have they discussed what they're gonna do there?
I believe for a development of that size, they would require a traffic impact
Oh my
analysis.
Yeah,
So that would be part of the submittal requirements.
on both the Blueberry and the Kelsey Street.
Yeah,
And then, sidewalks also, if there's gonna be that many, apartments is right underneath the overpass, you know where the overpass is on 106, Hospital Road, 179th, if you coming up toward, going up to the apartments, there's no, sidewalks there, so that makes it even dangerous for people walking. So I don't know, I just think it's gonna be really a lot of, I don't know, I hope that gets addressed
yeah.
It's just a pre-application, right? So there's
Yeah.
not even officially confirmation that
on that.
that's moving forward.
It probably will, but yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, more
Yeah,
than
no,
likely,
100%, and then the
Right.
traffic impact study would have to happen with the,
right,
yeah.
yeah, I hope so
I hear what
because,
you're saying, though. This is the
yeah,
next
it'll
one.
probably go through, but even if it didn't, the traffic there right now is really bad, like really bad. One more thing. Oh, on that. All those, how many homes did you say was gonna go?
It's a 213 lot subdivision.
And where is that at again?
So, Monroe 30 is off of 175th
79th.
Avenue, so it's like, here's Chain Lake Road.
Okay.
It's off of
Okay,
Chain Lake Road. It's sort of nestled between other subdivisions,
I know where it's
and
at.
it's up on a hill.
Okay,
So right now it's just an undeveloped hill.
okay, I know where it's at. All right,
That's the Monroe West.
Oh, Monroe 30.
Monroe 30 is the one that just got annexed.
Oh,
So
yeah, I'm
it's
thinking
actually
Monroe West. Sorry.
closer to, it's right next to the Monroe Woodlands that just got annexed. So Monroe 30 just got annexed as well. So it's, above the fairgrounds on the same side as the foothills. The Monroe West is the one that Hannah was describing. We've got two going on right now. And then Trombley, we expect them to come in quite soon as well. So 191st is gonna see a lot of activity.
yeah, looks that way. Okay. Wow, okay. Thank you.
Under the building department, we're happy to report that we're making a lot of great progress implementing our new permit system. We've got pretty much all of our permit types and project types put into our new permit system. We have added user-friendly help text and removing unnecessary touch points to make it a more user-friendly experience. And our expectation is we're gonna be doing our staff training in January for our new permit software. And we'll go live in mid-February. Under code enforcement, Kevin is continuing to collect non-permitted stake signs throughout the city, and we're gonna see an uptick with that with election season coming up. He's keeping an eye on vegetation getting out of hand. And yeah, just reaching out to candidates. Him and Leanne in our department have been doing a great job on education with temporary signage. Here are the new business licenses. And information on the public initiated comprehensive plan amendments. There's the PUD application that Kate mentioned earlier. That's for the first airfield, removing first airfield from the city's list of essential public facilities and eliminating the airport compatibility zoning overlays and regulations. And the other is the city of Monroe map amendments, associated updates to the buildable land capacity analysis. And code amendments, there's not much update there. Besides local permitting. We're moving ahead on that. Annexations, the Davis annexation has been added. You will be getting more information on that soon. Kate, do you want to give an update on the Davis annexation?
Yeah, sure. So, this will not hit the planning commission. Annexation is dealt with 100% at the council level. This one will include a development agreement. The Davises were really active during the conference of plan process. And, the city did not facilitate or did not process, that's the word I'm looking for, an application to expand the UGA. They worked directly with the county, which is the government level that makes changes to the urban growth area. And they had come to the council a couple of meetings and received support from the city council on the basis that their future development would include a mix of housing types. It would continue that multimodal trail along Chain Lake Road, and that they would have some kind of a trail access between 191st and Chain Lake Road. And so that's what the development agreement will contain or contains for the council's consideration. So we'll just keep you posted on this with the CD updates, and they are ready to move. They're very excited.
They've been ready.
Yeah.
What's excited about?
I do not know, but we can make sure to have that in the update next time.
I know, I'm trying to make this larger and see how big it was, but it's hard to tell.
Yeah, I do not remember off the top of my head.
That's right above me. Right?
Yep, yep.
Okay. Moving on to agenda item 8.1, discussion by commissioners and staff. Go ahead and start with Mary.
Let's see, well, driving by the Fiesta building, the bank building, I see they put pictures in the window, which I really like, black and white. Haven't really stopped to look at it, but I like that, it's not bare looking. I know people in town, I've been hearing, they would love to see something else happen to it, chatter, stuff like that, so. And parade was fun, kids loved it, hot day, turned out great, lots of people in town. Thank you.
Don't have much. One thing, do you have any idea, what will be our last meeting of the year? Like what date is that?
It will be that second Tuesday in December. Monday, sorry, thank you. Second Monday, because the other one I believe falls on Christmas.
No, the next one's it's 50 days before Christmas.
Right, it's right before, that's why I was wondering.
Christmas, it'll be the 20.
Oh, okay, so
22nd.
We'll probably check back with the commission depending on what your workload is like. I mean, a lot of it has to do with how far staff can get. If you know you're gonna be out of town, just let us know.
And I know last year we didn't have that when that was that last week, so that's why I was wondering, so trying to figure out our schedule, our
Sure.
personal schedule.
Yeah, understood.
Okay, well, it looks like we have a lot of time, so there's a couple things I wanted to talk about. So Mary had brought up this issue about, it's basically the sidewalk in front of Rite Aid. And I believe it might be the Rite Aid parcel's property, that is why the sidewalk sticks out, and it really does impede the flow of traffic there. So since Rite Aid is right now probably going to be, you know, maybe changing hands or whatever soon, since they're closing. Is there some way that somebody can take a look at that and see where the property line is and the whole like. Is there a way to do a traffic change that would emanate domain or something and like move that sidewalk in to their property line more? Because it would really help there.
We'll pass it along to Public Works.
Okay, and when we were talking about scope of work, there was one other thing I meant to ask about, the downtown master plan update. So can you remind me again, so that is like talking about, so promenade and what's allowed there and like the different areas, and we're revisiting that.
So the idea of the downtown master plan was that project has not been really looked at comprehensively since the early 2000s. And
Okay.
so it would be all encompassing. That project was identified to begin in 2026. Things continue to move around, so I had hoped as part of the phase 2 comp plan update, we could touch some of them, but that's also being a little bit delayed just due to staffing situation. So it's not only looking at uses, but it might also include aesthetics. It might, because the design guidelines that were adopted for the downtown is really, they were meant to get a historic preservation program going, which did not happen. And so that really needs to be reassessed. So it would be design, land use, kind of like an economic analysis, but don't have budget for it.
And maybe even like extending or like moving those lines a little bit or something. I mean, that's.
That had not been envisioned, but I mean, that would be part of the scoping process, and Lance is on this evening, so he might be able to also provide some guidance. I can tell you, we will not be able to start that until next year. The Economic Development Advisory Board, my understanding that is on their program of work right now, so I can reach out to Patrick and see if he's gotten what the status is on his.
No, no need to do any extra work. I'm just excited about it. I do think now that you mentioned it hasn't been touched since 2000, I think that is gonna be really cool, that'll be looked at. And I imagine, because you guys are really good at getting community outreach and stuff, so some kind of community survey or something will probably be done with that as well. Okay, the other thing that I want to touch on just a little bit is this comp plan amendment from the PUD. So what happens with that at this point? Like, did we discuss it at all and we give any kind of recommendations? Cause, I mean, it's pretty, the comp plan talks a lot about the essential services and an airport, and I just wanted to make sure that there's gonna be a discussion around that at some point.
Yeah, so the way our code is set up, that establishes the comprehensive plan review process is the first step is the docket. So what that is we're just establishing that list of projects that are going to move forward. So all the way through the last day of July, anybody and everybody can make applications. Amy is consolidating all of those and doing a very high level analysis of, is it consistent with the comp plan? And then she'll present that list to the city council at their first regular meeting. They will establish which projects move forward. Once they make that decision, then they come to you and we start all of that. All right, is it consistent with the code? All right, is it helping us meet our population, employment, housing projections? Is it consistent with the countywide planning policy? So that's where we start that work. I believe like October of this year through June of next year. And June is when the council would take final action. So you've got many months of work in front of you to start discussing that.
Wait, one last thing. Do you remember when we were in the other building and we had a lot of conversations about the equity, statement?
Yep.
And there was like this set of questions that we had said that every time we were gonna look at a decision, we would, look at them through an equity lens. We haven't really had anything come to us yet that we would want to use that. But I believe we're going to start having some, so could we get more familiar with that again and maybe get it like a printout or something so we can kind of. We had said those were gonna be very important,
Yep.
For us to stay on track for meeting equity goals.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Right there,
Yeah.
I'm done.
Thank
No, that's good.
I don't have anything.
Okay, wait, sorry, I forgot. The parade was, I almost didn't go, but I'm very close to it, so I was like. My kids were like, please come, and I, again, was pleasantly surprised. Every year, I feel like whoever is in charge of this with. I know it's a chamber thing, but also the city does a lot of work with it, and the people that they had in the parade, it was just, for a while, it was kind of going like really not as energetic, and now it's just back up to a really fun event, so, thank you.
Actually, that reminds me, I think it's one thing. It is hot outside and I'm putting on my mom hat saying, do as I say, not as I do, and wear your sunscreen. Because I did not for the parade and I paid the price, so just be careful. All right, Kate.
Yeah, it's, there are a couple items that have been popping up. We've been getting inquiries, so I just wanted to let you know if you're hearing on the street. We've been getting some comments about mobile food vendors. There, I guess, are a couple that are popping up on the sidewalks late in the afternoon. We have been trying to figure out how do we regulate them? How do, what do we do? So that, that is, we are hearing the concerns. We're assessing what we can do. Along with that, gosh, I want to say like 3 months ago, we had similar questions, inquiries about our peddler solicitor license requirements. So we've actually been working on a handout for that. So both of them we're gonna try to do an educational component on it, just to say, this is what you have to do. If you have concerns, these are our regulations. So I would suspect for the end of August, so probably in a couple of weeks, we're working with Mojo, who's one of our consulting teams, to help us make it so it's really user friendly.
Can I say
Yeah.
something real quick? Sorry, Hannah. On that, what you just said with those people popping up,
Yeah.
do they have to have a health permit? I mean, okay, so like, I've seen a couple, now that you brought that up, so they will have one there, they just can't go and put up their stand and start selling stuff, can they?
It's really, yes.
They can?
They need to have a permit.
Okay.
They need to have a health permit, but both of our agencies have a really hard time because we need contact information, we need an address. And that is not the easiest thing to get. So we'll be providing informational outreach, but it's going to be challenging for us to regulate.
If somebody sees that, is that something like the police department would shut them down, or?
It's not that easy.
No.
If you have concerns, it's the non-emergency line that you need to be calling. And again, Lance is up there, so he might have some further guidance for you. We've had a lot of conversation about both these topics in the last couple of weeks.
Lance, do you have anything tonight?
I do. Just a general update on the new city hall. It looks like we're going to be holding the first city council meeting in September. We're still under discussion of when we will start the board and commission meetings. I suspect that it'll be in October, but we will come up with that date, I think, here soon. So I believe that the first council meeting is going to be their first meeting in September. So the council this year, starting this year, has not been meeting in August. So it will be their first meeting in September. So I will keep everybody updated on the exact date. It's some of it is not necessarily working out the bugs of the all of the AV equipment that then there's very different than what we've had in the past. And we just want to make sure that everyone who's staff liaisons and everybody that's involved in those meetings is getting the proper training. And when we have hiccups for meetings that are hybrid, it becomes even more problematic, because it's not like we can just continue to hold the meeting. If we're advertising them as hybrid meetings, then we need to hold them that way. So we actually have to cancel the meetings if we can't broadcast them. So more to come on that. That's all I've got, unless anybody has any questions.
Thank you, Lance. Hannah.
My only thing is Saturday, September 6th is belonging at the Sky River Park. It's the multicultural celebration event. It's got a lot of cool performers, food trucks, vendors. So yeah, it's a really good time. Come out, it's free.
Right. If there are no objections, we will adjourn.